Hello, potato. Over the last few years of doing these videos, I have made certain culinary discoveries. And one of those is elotes, or Mexican street corn. And while I have had elotes flavored tortilla crisps, Cheetos, French fries, and just a cup of elotes, I've never actually had like proper on the cob street corn style elotes. And today that is not going to change, because today we have another elotes flavored item in Rojo's street corn dip. Corn, green chilies, cheddar, and cotija cheese. Now the green chilies do give me pause, not because I think they'll be too spicy or anything, because it does say mild on here. I'm not, and plus, you know, I don't think they would make anything mainstream too spicy that I couldn't eat it. Just like green chilies can impart a flavor that I don't particularly care for to food, but hopefully that's not the case here. This is perishable and needs to be kept refrigerated. And the interesting thing on here is it says it can be had hot or cold, and that's a different thing for one of these dips for me. Usually I have these, they're just meant to be cold, like the pumpkin spice one last fall. That was not one that I believe was meant to be served hot. I suppose you could. I can't imagine why you'd want to. It wasn't bad, but you know, the problem with these is like it's so much of them that I can't finish them before they potentially go off. Now this one isn't going to go off until March 10th, so I have from the time of filming about a month to eat all this, which means I'm probably not going to be able to unless somebody else in this house likes it. So it's 70 calories per serving, which is about 2 tablespoons. So not a ton of it. Plus keep in mind that you're probably going to have it on something like, say, tortilla chips. So that's going to add some of your calories as well. Sodium is 7% of your day. Again, your crisps are going to have sodium as well. Keep that in mind. But this could be a fun little dip. I do like the flavor of street corn flavored items. I really loved those chips that Sam's Club had last year. I wish they would bring them back this year, but who knows. What's in it? Let's see. Yogurt, corn, mayonnaise, green chili peppers, roasted corn. So there's more chili peppers than corn in it. That's not great. Water, cheddar cheese, onion, cotija cheese. And of course, a lot of stuff making up those items. I'm just reading the... Thankfully, they've put the main items in bold so they can kind of jump out and you can read them easier. But yeah, today let's try some Rojo's Authentico street corn dip. Delicious, hot or cold. So it's another yogurt-based dip, kind of like that. Well, kind of like the pumpkin spice one, which was actually quite good. I got through a fair bit of it, and it is a fairly lumpy dip. Doesn't smell of much of anything. Just smells kind of like almost like a cream cheesy kind of smell. Just very kind of fresh, I guess. So we have lots of lumps in here. Got corn. Got a fair amount of chili pepper. What is that? What is the red stuff? Were there tomatoes in this? Roasted corn, water. Oh, some garlic in there, yeast extract, guar gum. Yeah, I'm not sure what the red stuff is, but probably one of those things where there's so little of it they don't have to actually label it. Because it doesn't look like chili pepper, but yeah, there is an unfortunate amount of green pepper in this. Wow, there's a lot of it. That doesn't bode well, but let's have a bite and see if it tastes more of street corn or more of green chilies. Well, it is better than I expected. I do taste the corn. Not as strongly as, say, in a cup of corn or in those street corn flavored tortilla chips, but I think also it's partially because I got like a piece of corn in my bite. The green chilies are not as strong as I was afraid they would be. But then again, I'm not sure I got a green chili in my bite, so maybe that would make a difference. Let's try to get a more generous scoop full here. Give it another try. So I'm gonna slot this into being better than I was worried it would be, but not as good as I'd hoped it would be. It's got a good kind of the fresh flavor of, I mean, it doesn't have the tartness of the yogurt, so I'm guessing they've managed to work that out and flavor it more of like the cotija cheese. Not really getting much cheddar flavor in there, but it has that sort of clean, fresh flavor of cotija cheese. The corn's there, but it's not super, super dominant. The green chilies are there, but thankfully they're also not super dominant. Now, different thing on this is it does say it can be served hot. So I was wondering if maybe if you heat it up, does it turn into sort of like a really, really chunky queso? And I thought, well, you know, let's find out and go heat some of it up and see what it's like hot. Spice-wise, it does have some heat to it. It is definitely mild. So unless you're like really super sensitive to heat, it's probably not going to bother you. But there is definitely a little bit of spice in there. I feel like it's probably not coming from the green chilies. I feel like it's probably coming from seasoning. So here's a little pot of the sauce. Does it suggest how to heat it up? Don't think it does. I guess I just kind of rely on you to not be completely useless on that front. So let's let me go heat this up real quick. I will be right back. You won't even know I was gone. All right, so I've nuked it for about 45 seconds just to heat it up. It hasn't loosened it up too much. It is definitely looser. You see kind of pores now. You can also kind of see how much chunk is in there. There's a lot of corn. There's still a fair amount of green chili pepper, but it's warmed up now. So let's see how it is as a warmed up dip. It didn't turn into queso, which is kind of what I was hoping for. It's just a little too thick for that. Also, probably being yogurt based, that was just never going to happen. But it did thin up a little bit. But yeah, now you can really just see how much corn there is. There's actually quite a bit of corn in there. I kind of expect it to taste more of corn than it does with that much corn in there. Let's try it hot. You know, when you think about it, hot makes sense for this because, I mean, if you're eating street corn, it should be, you know, if you're eating it fresh, it should be hot. So the hot preparation works. It actually tastes less of the green chili that way. It's a little weird just because, again, I'm used to eating cold dips more than hot ones. It's not that hot. The spice feels like almost a little muted, heated up. It's still there. It's still very mild, but it feels almost like it's a little muted when you heat it up. I'm trying to think if you could use this in like a. I don't think nachos would work. I feel like maybe like a layered dip preparation that's being served hot. If you could do this as like a layer in there, I think you probably could. It might mix well with like refried beans or something, but it's not bad. It is still going to be a struggle to finish this. Do I like it better hot or cold though? That's the question I'm struggling with at the moment. See, cold is got much more of a fresh flavor. It's more light. When you have it hot, that light, fresh layer of flavor just like completely goes away. And it's I mean, both versions are savory. There's not really much sweetness in either one, but this feels somehow more savory than the cold version. But yeah, interesting, worth trying. If you like street corn flavored items, it's worth checking out. Rojo's Authentico street corn dip. It's not everything I hoped for, but better than I feared. And with that, we will put this video to bed. I hope you found it interesting or entertaining. If you did, Give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.